Alright guys, welcome back. I'm just going to do a little update, nothing too big. Just want to talk about the current state of the market. I know a lot of you guys have been like asking, is this a pump? Are we moving back up? Are we doing this? Are we doing that? Is the bottom in XYZ? So many different things. Remember what we mentioned yesterday on the live? We said, look, the market could go down a specific percentage based on certain patterns, and the specific pattern we were talking about was the the bear flag, right? So we know the bear flag was exactly on target. It did exactly what it needs to do. Absolutely fine. That doesn't really bother me too much. That doesn't concern me. But what we need to understand is where we are right now. One thing we have been doing in the last couple of days is making a new support zone. That's the key here. We need to make sure we hit that enough times, bounce up and down, in that particular zone to create an area. Once we create this area, we're sorted. Then we can say, yes, guys, we're ready to move out. Now, of course, I'm looking at the 5-day, or I'm looking at the weekly candles, right? When I'm looking at those, I see I'm just in a candle. I don't see any confirmation. I see the previous candle was bearish, and the second candle, the current candle we're in, is still bearish, right? That's all I'm seeing. I need a confirmation candle. So what I need is something to be bullish. Now, one of our members, Bobby, he kind of mentioned something quite funny. He said, what if it keeps on going up and then when we get the confirmation it's too late? You're right. Yeah, it's too late, right? It's too late for you to pick up the bottom. But you would rather pick up a confirmation. This is not financial advice, but this is the wisest way to do this. You would rather buy on an uptrend knowing that it's only going to go up, instead of knowing that this could potentially be rejected and come back down even further. Because remember, every pattern we do these kind of these patterns here, whatever you're gonna call them, these zigzag patterns, whatever you're gonna call them, right? So these zigzags or whatever. But the point is we could easily get rejected and come back down. So be patient. That's what I'm saying. Just be patient. Things are looking good, in my opinion. I have been observing the market. And also, if you might notice something as well, notice how the pump started on BTC a few percent, and how some of the altcoins have started to pump 20-30%. Insane pumps. And this is what I was talking about. The dumps make the alts dump faster. So if BTC dumps 10%, the alts dump 20%, for example. But as soon as you pick it up at that time and you go blindly, like any coin, right, you want to pick up, you would see these massive pumps, all right? And that's the key here, right? So we're looking for these things. We're looking for confirmation. We're looking for, confluence, basically. And focusing on all the other indicators as well, like the RSI, the stochastic RSI, our moving averages. We're focusing on all of them. And currently we're focusing on the 21 because technically it's in the shortest range. So we want to see what's happening in the shortest amount of time. Of course, we would love to see bigger ranges like a 50-day or 100-day or even 200-day. But 200-day, I'm not that bothered too much right now. I'm more focused on the 21 for current, for forecast 50 and 100 basically. So that's what we're looking at. And so far we are going to go and possibly test that 21-day, which is great, by the way, which is absolutely great. And if we do test it and for whatever reason the market shows up as, say, for example, 30k, it's okay. I would rather buy at 30k knowing we're going to go to 40k instead of being kind of in a confusion situation where we could go to 30k and then reject all the way down to 10k. I don't want that, right? You know what I mean? So it's all about assessing your risk. Yes, there's a time to be bullish, and we will be bullish, but right now it's not that time. So that's why I just wanted to do a nice little update, nothing too big, and see where it's going on. Because yes, I know how everybody feels. It's like, this is it, guys. This is it. Yes, this is it, but it's not about picking up the perfect bottom. It's about picking the bottom at the right time, right? So once we do that, then obviously things are going to change, and I'll probably start jumping on it every day and giving you guys an update and see what's going on. But there's so much more fun, and I was having a good conversation with Bobby on Discord as well regarding how some of the top exchanges are currently cutting jobs. In fact, on the 14th of this month, so a few days back, about 7 days back, I think it was, Coinbase released a statement. They said 18% of all their staff is going to go, and the reason they gave was because they're preparing for the recession. This is Coinbase mentioning a recession. A lot of people seem to forget that we are currently the recession is lurking, and we're going to have one, right? We see, product like prices for products go up. We see your food costs go up, your buying costs, everything going up, right? You see interest rates going up, XYZ, all over the world, right? It's not just this country, every country, different countries, different rates. Some people like to say, well, this is the reason why it crashed. Well, no, it's not the reason why it crashed. It crashed because it's supposed to crash, right? We had the top, and that was it. It wasn't a full top that we wanted, unfortunately. So what? It happened. Now, I think the way I'm looking at the market, I might have to do a different kind of an analysis, because I have noticed something on the chart, especially on the logarithmic chart, especially the log growth curves. And I think it's kind of broken, right? Because obviously it was made with previous data. I think it's kind of broken, and it needs to be adjusted, right? And I think if we adjust it, the numbers will be a little bit different. It will be lower than what we expect based on the log charts, right? But I think the log growth is not going up like we expected. Like currently the log shows us going like this, right? We're going up. But I think that curve is slightly lower, because the more we stabilize, the less potential of massive pumps we have. And that's something we need to focus on. And I think the log growth on the weekly, monthly is too wide, right? If that makes sense, because it's going in a particular direction and it's fixed on that. And I think we need to adjust that to kind of give it a nice little bit of a curve to say, look, over time the returns will be diminishing, so diminishing return needs to be factored in as well, and hopefully we can move in from there. So I will be keeping a close eye on that, and I'll do something of my own. I think straight lines ain't going to work. We have to do something else. But ultimately, this market we're in right now, we just got to play it calm. All right, that's what I'm doing right now. And of course, I announced already the DCA factor that, yes, now we're DCA. Now we can start DCAing in, right? We can start buying whatever we want. Anything. Somebody asked me, do I hold XYZ coins? Yes, my holding portfolio is intact. I didn't touch that. My liquid portfolio currently only has BTC in it. I'll be honest with you, right? I haven't even picked up Ethereum yet. I'm still waiting. I will pick up Ethereum. Also, talking about Ethereum, remember yesterday I mentioned to you as well, I said if you look at the charts, you'll see Ethereum is currently sitting below its 2017 peak. All right, so it's currently sitting below its 2017 peak. In the next week or two, it could potentially go up and test that again, because that's now become a resistance. It could test that. If it can break it, great. If it can't break it, then it's coming back down again, and we can expect it to go down even further. And Ethereum has been struggling recently. And of course, again, people like to connect the dots and say, this is the reason, that's the reason, this has happened, that's happened. The truth is, look, the market's just doing what it does. The market does what it does. There's nothing else you could do about that. So we're going to observe, we're going to see, we're going to stay calm. We want confirmations. I personally want confirmations. I don't want to trade against the trend. I want to trade with the trend, right? So, I mentioned to you guys, gave you enough hints already how I'm playing this game, what my strategy is, where to be in first. And of course, you might be thinking, well, Sham, you could have made XYZ percentage on your on an altcoin, for example. If it pumped 30% today, you could have made 30% today. Why would you do this? Yeah, you're right. I could have, right? But with altcoins, there's no certainty that that pump's going to be an everlasting pump. There's no certainty that coin's even going to exist. I mean, don't forget. I mean, we should not have fish memory, for example, right? Where we forget minutes later. Don't forget, guys. We saw what happened to Luna, right? A coin is there, big, super great project, and then moments later it's gone. This could happen to anything, and it doesn't mean it has to happen because of some whatever reason. It doesn't. It could just happen to anything. If a project founders or whatever have control over a particular project and decide to pull out, it's gone. Do you know what I mean? So just be cautious. That's all I'm saying. Just be cautious. But yes, we are getting our lists ready. There's plenty of coins out there that I'm looking at. Most of those coins are from the previous round, and there are some new gems as well I am looking at. But right now, not interested. I'm not interested. Right now, I'm more focused on basically accumulating as many BTC, because once I've got that, then what I want to do is basically put those BTC to work, right? So, this whole saying, right? You can work for money, or you can work to earn, or you can do the other way around. You can make your earning work for you, right? So you can make your money work for you. And this is what I intend to do. And I mentioned this, kind of hinted this as well. I said, look, if one BTC was sold at $58,000 and it bought me 3 BTCs right now, or close to 3 BTCs, then I could literally use one of those BTCs to do certain things. I could also use another BTC to do other stuff as well. And I always have my BTC. So that's the whole point. My accumulation could accumulate me more, but now I've got more leverage, more to do. I can actually play around more wild without actually losing my original asset, which I could have holded anyway. So that's the way I'm playing this. And let's see what happens, right? End of the day. But don't fall for the hype. Don't get too excited, right? Or, you know, don't be too emotional, right? That's the whole key here, because I think that kind of sums it up. Because, you know, you can be really sad because you lost money, or you can be really happy because you're making money, you know, or the market does something and you could be really happy or really sad. We don't need that. We want to be calm. Every move we make, we need to be in control. That's the key here, right? We're in control. Remember what I said. If you press a buy button to buy something, right? That moment you press that button, or you set up an order to buy something, that moment you press it, assume you've lost it, right? When I'm going to put 20 grand down to go and buy a BTC, right, today or tomorrow, whenever, that's 20 grand gone, right? Because I don't have access to that 20 grand anymore. I can't use that 20 grand. I can't do anything else with it. It's there for one purpose only, for me to buy BTC, and I bought it and it's useless to me right now, right? So that's how it is. You have to have intent. Right, whatever you do, you have to have intent. It's like, I intend to do this, I intend to do that. You know, I'm going to use this for this, I'm going to use this fund for that, right? You know, for example, I'm going to buy one BTC, it goes to 70k, and I'm going to go and buy myself a nice little Tesla. Think like that. You have to have intent behind what you're doing. Don't be that guy just who FOMOs in and just jumps in because the market's pumped already. Well, guess what? It's already pumped. You're looking at a 20% pump. It's too late. If someone wanted to buy an altcoin right now, too late. When we said we want to start dollar cost averaging, we were low. So if you bought at that time, currently you would have made about 40%. So think about it this way. The 30% pump that you saw from yesterday, that would have been a 40% pump, because that would have been the low when you would have bought it. So similar, that's the strategy. It's like, follow one, or maybe the market cap or whatever. Just follow something. Don't have to follow all of them, and just watch that trend, because that trend is your friend, right? Once it starts pump, everything pumps. When it dumps, everything dumps. Pretty simple. So, you know, the DCH strategy right now, as soon as basically, I'm waiting for the second order actually. I'm actually still kind of hopeful to get that $17,300 BTC. So I'm being hopeful, I'm being honest with you. If I do get it at that price, then I will probably start going into some alts. But until then, I want to be really careful, because if the market flips, then I want to deploy the cash on the upside, right? If I have to DCA on the upside, then that's what I'm going to do, right? However, the gut feeling is that the potential is that we might still get the 17.3 at least, right? Because there is a chance, right? I gave it a 75% chance the other day. Remember, I said, look, 19k, 99% chance. We got that. I said 75% chance we're going to go to 17k, for example, right? 17,003. So the chance is still there, and I'm actually going to be observing. So I want to see what happens. 50-50 chance was on $16,000. That's my 50-50 area. That means the risk is 50-50. You may not, right? Anything else below that, the chances are lower. So obviously I'm not that, you know, I'm not that excited. I'm not that keen on it. I'm not going to be sitting and putting all my money there. It doesn't make any difference, right? So the 75% chance, I do want to take a chance on that. The 50% chance, I want to take a chance on that. Other than that, the others, I'm not that bothered. So the 13k, the 13,800, right? Or the $14,000 I talked about, I'm not bothered. It's there, but I'm not bothered about that, right? Because if we start doing a reversal now, then I'll need to start deploying the cash on the upside, DCA into the upside, buy the alts, buy all of these, move forward. But we need to see the candles come back down once more to confirm that. Of course, on a daily, on a 4 hourly, you can probably, but on a thing,